At the root, I think mentorship is about positive, stable, supportive relationships, and that's something that we can all use more of in our life, no matter where we're at. My name is Natalie. I am BGCBigs Youth Employment Coordinator, a former Big Sister, and part of the Wood Mountain Lakota First Nations in southern Saskatchewan. In my time as a Big Sister and working with youth and teens, it's a lot about opening those doors and providing opportunities that those youth might not have had otherwise, and hopefully being able to be that link for them. So as a person with Indigenous heritage, I think that's an area where I'm still looking for that true mentorship, and that's something I'm excited to explore as an adult. So some of my extended family work as Indigenous artists and educators and live on the reserve, so these women have been really influential to me from afar, but also someone I can go to and ask questions, and sometimes I think a mentor is just that, somebody that you can go to and ask questions. In my youth, I had a lot of teachers and coaches who ended up being like mentors to me. They were informal relationships, but they all taught me something, and I was really fortunate to have a lot of adults in my life that cared about me just because I was in their class or on their team. So one of them was a school program where in elementary school we got to pick a teacher that we were comfortable with, and we would consider them our mentor, and the teacher knew which students had picked them, so it was like a informal, sort of formal relationship where we just had somebody we could come and talk to and ask questions. And I did go to her a couple times in school, when I was dealing with something with a friend or having a hard time communicating with someone, just to ask for her advice. So that was really helpful. So I had a coach when I played ringette that was also like a mentor. That year I really wanted to quit. I didn't want to play anymore. I was having some trouble with some of the other teammates, and he sat down with me and talked through it, and ultimately gave me some good advice and encouraged me to stay on the team, and I did, and I'm glad that I did. So he was another person that was kind of like a mentor throughout those years. So I think when it comes to my family history and in my Indigenous heritage, I would have liked to have somebody to ask more questions when I was younger, when I was learning about it in school and wondering, oh, is this part of my family history? And also when I was learning about my family history, where do I fit in? How do I fit into this heritage, but also not as someone with the lived experience of a lot of Indigenous people. So I think that's a mentor that I'm still looking for, but I've really appreciated anyone who's talked to me, or the learning or trainings that I've done with Indigenous people, even if they were just online or a short conversation. So recently, in the past few years, I found out I was able to apply for my Indian status through Bill S3, which is a bill that helps to fight the history of sex-based inequities that were present in the Indian Act, where a woman would lose her Indian status if she married a non-Indigenous man. So due to these inequities, my grandma wasn't able to apply for her status until 1985 with Bill C-31, and slowly these bills have been trickling down to erase these inequities, and I was able to apply for my status in 2019, and this kind of reignited my interest in this part of my family history and the Indigenous culture, and I finally received my status in 2021. I think it's important for those who want to mentor to find an opportunity to do so. You never know what your experience or knowledge can mean to someone else, even if it's just a short conversation or something you think is obvious. So right now we have 50 kids that are looking for this type of support and mentors with an Indigenous background. BGCBigs is looking for volunteer mentors to help a young person fulfill their potential. Visit bgcbigs.ca.